So, Yasas, you were just talking about if you are physically active, your mental state will be better. But then how do you manage your emotions by keeping fit or of that sort? How do you like for men to manage their emotions? Because emotions are a main factor in like with mental health.
So I'm still a student of that the DNA or the chemical side of it, which is more biology. I was not in class, right? But what happens when you're physically active? It's a great start to the day, right? And also what happens is you learn things like resilience by sport, pushing for the extra, what Ajay said, right? Trying to build that whole athlete mindset. There is a set of values you build, how to fall and get up, how to be mentally tough, how to handle anxiety. I mean, the guy who's waiting for the whistle to go knows the anxiety on a block of a 50-meter pool, right? So there's a whole lot of that comes from this physical world. Outdoor life, play and all that. So it prepares you a lot better. So that prepares you that emotional challenges that you have, the losses, the how to get up when you fall. Example, right? My father bought me a bicycle when I was 12 years old. And I can remember in my lane, I learned to balance the bike, and now I want to show him that I can ride a bike. So he's putting a walk and coming, the neighbors are watching, that about I fall maza. And then he walks and looks at me and he said, okay, then come home and went. Now embarrassing in front of everybody, I had to drag my bike and I went home. After dinner, he said, now how are you? I said, I'm okay. Then he said, in life you are going to fall. You will have to learn to get up by yourself. So my point is that active lifestyle, when you're pushing for either sport or now example in my case, I call myself a cyclist the day I left the bank. So for some reason, I am trying to improve my cycling on a daily basis. I've broken a collarbone. So that the emotional part that comes with failure, others' expectation. So the moment I walked in, Fouzul said, Yasas, where's your coat? Because he suddenly forgot that I don't have a coat. I mean, I said, but I don't have a coat, I don't wear a coat, you know that, right? And I forgot, and you know.
So he has them upstairs, by the way.
Yeah. So the emotional part that comes as a result of expectation, management, what others think of you, all of that, unfairness in sport, right? If you play sport for Royal College, you played with the parents. Then you learn the unfairness. So from that active lifestyle of sport, you learn a lot of lessons that prepare for you. So that's where I come from. But then if somebody goes through trauma, tragedy in life, that emotion much, and that's not as simple as what I said. But there's a large part that can be addressed by being active, and your mind follows an active body, and it's generally has worked for me, and that's just my view.
Actually, can I add something to this? Right? Something very interesting that will actually give you a better perspective of what you said. To answer your question, our emotions are basically chemicals, right? Playing around in your brain. And our happiness is largely dependent on dopamines, or we call them endorphins. And exercise is the safest and the best way of getting endorphin release. All the other ways of endorphin release are bad for you. There's either pornography, which is, again, addiction, bad, alcohol, cocaine, drugs, all of that, right? All of them give a short-term endorphin high. But exercise maintains your endorphins at peak levels most of the time. So when endorphins are high, right? Now, you take mood. Mood is cyclical. Your mood isn't always happy, isn't always sad. It cycles between good and bad. And the median line of this is our basal mood, right? Exercise regularly raises this base level of mood. And when your base level of mood goes up, your perspectives change. Exactly. What you said starts to happen, right? You don't see your problems being as bad as they were had you been not on an endorphin high. I mean, this is a simple thing. We've all gone through this. We've all had a good day where you feel good about yourself. And when you are faced with a problem, right, you may actually think of solutions for this and not be affected by it. But the same thing can happen when you're having a really bad day, a really, really awful day. And that day, this problem defines you. It starts to make you sink into the ground and you can't figure yourself out. You can't figure yourself out of it. So if your base level mood is always elevated, in people who work out, you would know this, Bilal, your perspective simply changes.
Just to add to this, I just saw this somewhere just recently, and he captured it really well. Was so this is a doctor from India on a thing. He said, when you think of going for an exercise, your dopamine already is kicking in, right? You go, you work out, and your endorphins kick in, and they kick in. They maintain that for a few hours, right? So you keep on that high. You go again, right? Then your serotonin kicks in, and then you stay on that happiness, like a general happiness mood, right? You keep doing that more, right? You go into oxytocin,
Oxytocin, yes, correct.
Yeah, the last one. There what happens is you reach a level of like self-love, because you're feeling, I can't believe I'm in such a good place, But it starts with that whole focus on how you're going on the exercise. Once the chemical starts getting released, then you look at your perspective changes. Then you're, looking at everything very differently. So yeah. You got a well-rounded answer for that, huh?
All right.
Yeah, good question, buddy.